Listen, I don't know about you, but I started a business so I could do this. Travel, be with friends, be with family, create memories. I didn't do it to sit at the computer all day. I didn't do it so that I could just be in countless emails and Zoom meetings. I did it to create opportunities for myself and opportunities for others. So listen, if that's something that interests you, enjoying time with your friends, being out and about, definitely drop by Erica Williams' Classy Climb blog. Check out the YouTube channel. We've got over 2,000 videos of free information that's actually changed people's lives. People actually post their new jobs, their new careers, their new businesses all the time over at the channel. Oh, what's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I hope it's not super echoey in here. Half the house is basically packed up, ready to go. And so y'all soon, very soon, we'll see the new studio once we get the paint on the walls and get my little room like I want it to. I think you guys will like it. Change up the set. Change is good. Change is good all the time. What's up? I see Wisconsin in here, New Orleans, Salt Lake City, Baltimore, Illinois, that Lockport, Tampa, Florida, Benbrook, Texas, Mobile Home Geek. There's lots of opportunity up there. Okay. So let's come on in. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. This ain't gonna be a short one. I'm gonna try to make it short, but I ain't gonna hold you. Okay. So you've probably been noticing my absence doing lives this past month. January has been the longest month of my life. I feel like January's got 2 months in it at this point. Okay. And it's still going. Okay. So let's get into it. LA fires. I've been in countless webinar trainings, emergency response trainings, insurance trainings this past couple of weeks, as well as kind of recovering, just kind of in the background. And so let's get into it and what I think is going to happen. I have several clips for you to watch, so brace yourself. We're going to be watching a lot of clips. But also, I want to explain who are some of the winners and some of the losers are. Now, listen, there's none of the LA fire people are losers. That's not what we're saying here. When I talk about 2025, I talk about the whole country and the overall winners in real estate. A lot of people are super overconfident that Donald Trump is in, and I told y'all have 6 months. Now, in this LA thing, y'all got 5 years, but you really got 6 months. So let's get into it. Let's go ahead and tackle this. Welcome to everybody who's in. Let's get into it. Got several. I'm going to start with this one right here. Show our share screen here. And this one I shared with the audience, so not a surprise, but here you go.
Back to the Palisades. Are they considering moving elsewhere? Do they?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Look, this is hard to say. I strongly believe that 50% of the people who lived in the Palisades are not going to be moving back to the Palisades.
Why?
Yeah, and honestly, that number wasn't as big last week in my mind, but after the phone calls that I've been getting, people who are moving to Brentwood, Santa Monica, Bel Air, Beverly Hills, those are going to be the markets that are going to go up because people want to be as close to normalcy as possible.
Yeah.
And those are those towns right around the Palisades.
Yeah.
Those are going to go up, that market. That's where they're going to move. It's going to be too long. You got to realize Palisades is the all-American town, right?
Yeah.
The families are running around. It's like what you picture towns in movies that we used to watch.
Yeah.
These kids that are 5 years old right now that live in the Palisades and go to school, there's a chance that if things don't move fast, it could be 4 to 5 years before they're back there. These kids are now 10. They're going to different schools,
right?
Different lives now, you know. So it's tough because picture you living on a street. You're the first house finished, and every other house on the street is in construction.
Yeah.
Think about that. You don't want to do that. You want to wake up every single morning and be reminded of that.
Right. It's traumatic.
I'm negotiating almost a dozen deals right now on land in the Palisades, much faster than I ever thought I would be doing. People are already trying to sell their dirt, knowing that they're not going to go back there, to home builders that will then build their house and either keep it or sell it.
So because obviously some people with the Woolsey fire, this could be their second time rebuilding with Malibu and stuff like that.
It's just hard.
Who's going to move to the Palisades, or are we going to see that city kind of?
The calls that I've got have been across the board of, I'm 70 years old. I just evacuated for my last time. I'm out. I'm never going back.
Where are they going?
Okay, that was the Palisades. So they're either going locally or because of they're fed up with the regulations and government. They're out. California, and if they're not, and they're out of LA, they're going down to Newport Beach.
Oh,
yeah. I'm getting a huge amount of calls from people who want to move down to Orange County.
Really?
Yeah. Majority of the people, unfortunately, because I've been on the phone with my insurance agent for hours every day.
Yeah.
Majority of the people were heavily uninsured. And that's an issue. And that's why they're not going to go back to the Palisades.
Yeah.
Because in order to recreate the house that they lived in, their dream house, they're not going to be able to afford it. And that's just a horrible thing.
All right. I know that was long, but I want you guys to get full context as we're doing this show. They are in Newport Beach. I know there's two women, if you are on Instagram or not, that she used to live in Philly. She has 20, 30 rentals in Philly, moved herself over to California, and she's near that Newport Beach. She's in that Southern California area. Let's just give you some math here. So for context, because yes, we have a bunch of clips, but we're going to keep giving you some math for context. $3 to $9 million houses in the Palisades. And I'm going to say it incorrectly all the videos. So give me a break. You also have Eaton. You also have the Black community. And there's a few clips I have for that because they're being very much moved over. Like no one's even bringing them up barely. It's like, oh yeah, there's some Black people over there. There's a whole neighborhood. 81% of the Black people in that Black neighborhood own their home and have multiple generations in one house. So let's just clarify. You got 12,500 homes affected. 40% of the homes had a mortgage. The rest were completely paid off. Okay. So that means about 5,000 people have a mortgage that they're responsible to. They're responsible to. And it keeps coming regardless if there's a disaster. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, there are several people getting $800,000 payouts. There were people the second day that they could file a form, file with their insurance company. And now many of you say, well, Erica, they don't have fire insurance. Baby. People, I don't know if y'all know there's levels to insurance. Levels. I'm trying to be careful. If you have firearms insured in your house. You have jewelry insured in your house. You have other things insured in your house. Now, I can either tell you it went to the way through looting, through vandalism, through damage. Now, the insurance company can say, I'm not going to pay you because you don't have fire and we don't cover fire. But because these items that you had insured for $1 million are gone, I have to pay you something. Well, and I'm going to send somebody out there to make sure they're gone. Well, baby, come see the rush. Come see the ashes. Because I don't think you understand. There's several Black music creators, rappers, singers. Aniko, that's Mila J's sister. That's Big Sean's woman. Her house burned up. And they were like, oh my God, we got to help her. She's on tour. And she's kind of already said in a few videos on the slide, like, oh, I had mad insurance that covered my jewelry, my things, because I'm not always there. Okay. So there's levels to the insurance. Many of you are automatically saying they're not going to be paid. Y'all, this is a very wealthy area. It wasn't always that case, but it is now. So you don't have insurance agents who are going to give you these cheap $40 a month policies. That's not what's happening here. That's not what's happening here. Okay. So let's just go that way. So I want y'all to clarify. There are already hundreds of people who've received $800,000 payouts. I am in several emergency response places. And if somebody hands you $800,000 and you're looking at your house, it's a pile of rubble. It was worth $3 million. You can never build a $3 million house in that same spot again. You know the land. If I sell the land, I probably could get $1 million for the land. Distress issues, I may be able to get another $800,000 for the land. What is a common sense person going to do? The reason I keep bringing up the Black families, because you're seeing several interviewers go, how many people were in your house? Oh, I was in here, my daughter and her daughter and the grandkids. There's so many things I want to say today. California is notoriously known for being a very protective state of the environment. They already let it slip. Yeah, it might take 18 months to get all this cleaned up environmental wise. But you have a 6 months because the eyes are paying attention to California. You have a 6 months where the president just won overwhelmingly. And everybody's like, why y'all can't give people a break? You got a 6 month window where everybody's going to flood. Okay. Sweet Yoni, I know you believe that, but I promise you, I know you believe that. I promise you, I know you believe that. I actually know several Black real estate developers and investors who live in California. And I promise you, between the levels of regulation and the fact that they are already sending people after these parents for their kids not being in school for truancy, it's already happening. They're telling parents, I don't care where you are. I don't care where you went. This child documentation has to say they're at somebody's school. I know we love pumping California up and saying it has all these amazing benefits. Where are the benefits at? Tell that to the people who are burnt out of their home. Right? I love you. I know you live out there. I'm gonna give you respect the whole show, but be easy. Don't make me time you out. Okay. Trying to stay focused on train of thought. Okay. Now, what is happening? What's currently happening? Right? All love to you. Just letting you know, I don't want to lose train of thought. So right now, families who are getting hit with phone calls from realtors, from builders, from investors, most people are calling saying, if they're smart, how can I help? How can I help? Right? Now, why is this important, them calling and saying, how can I help? These people are inundated. Several people had to go back to work. Several people had to return to what they were doing. If they were retirees, right? If they were retirees, guess what? That check still has to come. I have personal family members who are West Coast, and they're like, they send my check to my mailbox. I don't get a direct deposit of my benefits. It's sent to their mailbox. So now you have an area where I can't send it to your mailbox. But I'm going to send a truancy officer after you because make sure your kids is in school. Y'all, you got 6 months. Let me just be very clear. If you live in these areas, and I'm not saying everybody who lives in these areas are well-to-do. Some of these people bought early. They bought in these areas early. The best I recommend is let somebody who calls you on the phone help you. Now, what does that mean? If you have your kids, you have your life, you run around trying to get your prescription medication, you're running around trying to get your life back to some type of normalcy, you've moved 20 minutes away from where, you usually would live, right? Okay. What is going to happen? You're going to get into the humdrum of life. You're exhausted already from trying to call and argue and get what you deserve, what you're entitled to. So the people and the companies that are running around saying, listen, I'm going to help you. We're going to make calls on your behalf. We're going to work with people on your behalf. We're going to help get you in the cleanup on your behalf. That's happening right now. Why is that happening? Yes, some of these people are living in $9 million homes. Yes. But the key problem is, how do we problem solve for the people? Because let's just go there. I'll show some more clips. Because I know y'all like California's a good place here. And I'm not knocking you. I know you love your state. Everybody does. Everybody loves their state. No matter how many times I get on this phone and I talk to people and they like, Erica, you guys, if you knew how many calls I get out of Compton, boy, I get a lot of older ladies out of Compton. Your governor is saying he's not going to let up on regulations. Your governor. But I'll play it. I'll let you watch it. Don't take my word for it. Let me play it for you.
Of this situation. California leads the nation in environmental stewardship. I'm not going to give that up. But one thing I won't give into is delay.
People in Southern California communities are returning to their homes and businesses only to find destruction. Some are vowing to rebuild. And today, California Governor Gavin Newsom signed an executive order cutting red tape. His office said rebuilding in the communities leveled by wildfires will be streamlined, suspending certain permitting and review processes. Red flag warnings are up across the Los Angeles area through Wednesday. Powerful winds are expected to return overnight with gusts of up to 30 to 50 miles per hour in coastal areas and up to 70 miles per hour in the mountains of Los Angeles and Ventura counties. Evacuation orders have been expanded for the Palisades fire, which is still only 11% contained. Los Angeles County now investigating 24 possible fire-related deaths. At the Santa Anita racetrack in Arcadia, California, volunteers are running a huge distribution center. The site is packed with needed supplies that have been donated to help the thousands of evacuees, some now homeless and displaced by the fires. One volunteer came all the way from Texas to help out.
I want to help because I think that all of our families, all of those brothers that lost their homes and others that are grieving, I think that it'll be uplifting that they know that the community is getting together to help them.
It's amazing how all these people come together and help people that you don't even know, but we're a family. To God, we're all the same.
All right, let me. Now, did you hear what your governor said? I think you guys think this governor's playing with y'all. I think you think he's playing. Now, what's going to happen? Projected, I'm talking to lawyers. They're already preparing for the amount of lawsuits that are going to go against the governor, that is going to go against the state, that is going to go against countless insurance companies. They're already projecting thousands and thousands of cases that are going to drag out for the next 5 years. On top of that, let's just give you an example. One of the Palisades homeowners was saying, I'm not going to rebuild because when I went to go put a new garage door and the whole system, you know, where it slides down, it's got the electronics. He had 4 inspections to change one garage door. 4 inspections. You guys, that meant an inspector had to come out 4 times for him to get a damn garage door in. I don't think you guys are serious about this. Johnny, I do hear what you're saying. Johnny, yes, the price range can be 3 to 9 million is the average. There are 3 to 17 million. Many people say these people are wealthy, and so they're not as concerned. But if you actually look over the spectrum, some of these people are just somewhere who moved there early. They didn't even pay $800,000 for their house. They got there early. They're benefiting off the proximity and being there. Okay? Your governor just said, well, we're stewards of environmentalism. We can't let that go. I don't know if y'all understand this, but California actually has not all as much, but significant oil as Texas. But California decided we're not drilling oil here. We're going to, whatever old leases are still on the books, we're going to keep those. We're not drilling nothing new because we have earthquakes here, and that's not safe. That's not safe. It's not safe, you guys, if we start drilling oil here. It's just not safe. How much do y'all pay for gas in California? California is one of the most beautiful states that's beautifully broken. Okay, so let me keep it moving. The average person does an 8-mile radius of their house, period. They do 8-mile radius. Come on, we all know this, right? It's crazy. The bottleneck is there. The bottleneck's there. So the average person does an 8-mile radius. Okay. Everything within an 8 to 20-mile radius is done. It's full. There's no vacancy. It's full. Right? That's right. Baldwin Hills. That's correct. My friends actually have a house. Okay. Baldwin Hills. So when I tell you you got 6 months, what do I mean? I mean, as far as credit, I mean, as far as banks and telling companies, oh, I lost my house in a fire. Wow. Thank you, Thomas. I don't know who this is, but thank you, Thomas. By saying, hey, you guys, I was in a fire. My home was damaged. You're going to get a good 6 months to almost a year. Okay. To say credit affected by this, bill payment affected by this, car delayed payments affected by this, business affected by this, right? There's going to be businesses who get paid out of this too. Okay. There's going to be several things that you're going to be able to stack up and layer up and say, my credit was affected by this. Okay. All right. So this is the thing that's going to happen. Yoni said they don't want Republican. Yoni, you have one of your best ran counties is Orange County, and it's a Republican county. Your Northern California is Republican. Your state could be ran well. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. You know better. Let me go over here. Where's my other thing? Hold on. I had notes. I don't want to get lost. Okay, great. Sorry. Found it. Two of the winners, and I hate even using the word winner. It sounds terrible. Listen, I could tell you about somebody else in California who has an apartment building and they've been fighting with the city for 10 years. That's why when people try to tell me this stuff, I'm like, baby, I actually go out there. I actually go a lot to New York and California and have business friends who, they'll die on the hill that is California. They'll die on it. They'll fight to their last breath every bit of California, just like my grandpa was for Chicago. I'll fight for Chicago to the end. The cities ran terribly, but I'll fight to the end, to the end. So, I understand. And I'm not here to poop on anybody who lives in California. I want you to love your state. I just want you to understand what's about to happen for the next 5 years and what you can do and where you can help or where you cannot want to be at. That's all. I got a friend in Stockton, California, trying to renovate a building and turned it into an apartment building for the last 3 years because of permitting in California and still nowhere near completion. I already know. I'm telling you, y'all, this is very common. This is a common California story. This is not, it's very common. Okay. Who's going to do the real work? There's this kind of obsession with thinking the only people who can do the work is Hispanic people. The only people who can fix stuff is the Mexican men coming across the border. Oh my God. Who's going to do the work? There are tons of Black, white, regular everyday men named Jeffrey, Mr. Earl, Mr. Carl, Mr. Willie, Mr. Thomas, who can do this work. All right. Who can do this work every day of the week? There are the obsession that think only Latino people fix stuff is crazy. Because right now in Texas, even though we have majority Latinos doing some construction, you see a lot of Black men right here in Austin doing construction. The majority of the Black people, if you go back and watch some of the California stories, came out of Louisiana. Y'all used to have a Cajun party thing y'all did out there for years, but now all the original Cajun folk is dead, right? Y'all have a thing near San Diego that, again, let me leave it alone. Them people have roots that ain't in California, but that's another conversation. Okay, so if they're telling you it's 18 months on environmental cleanup, and Trump came down there and challenged the mayor. Now y'all are like, they gonna get rid of that mayor. She out of here, man. We're gonna get rid of the mayor. That's not true. Look up the history of LA mayors. Look up the history of mayors over y'all state. Y'all keep mayors a good long time. Even with corruption, even going to jail. Y'all closest to Chicago. When you have bad mayors, they just stay. They get a good 8-year run. Now, the only place that gets bad mayors out pretty quickly is Baltimore. I feel like every 4 years, every 2-4 years, they taking some Black mayor to jail and making a show out of it, and it's awful. But let me keep it pushing. My recommendations to homeowners who feel like they're getting the short end of the stick: sell the land, argue with the insurance company for 6 months to 18 months, and then sue. California, one thing California does do well, and we will give it to California, is California. Okay. California. Okay. They give the monies. They give the monies between who they have, you know what I'm saying, on the jury trials and the judges. California come up off that bread. Like, if you got a company in California and you ain't acting right, and your person goes sue, they're gonna get some bread. That I will give California. You're gonna get paid in California. Okay, you're gonna get paid. Okay, so my recommendations, and from what I've been hearing in the emergency response groups I'm in and calls and webinars training, is the lawyers is doing this. Yeah. Get all the aid you can. Yeah. Get all the aid. Now, California is also doing this. If your kid ain't enrolled in school, we're going to hold the aid. Now, I know y'all believe, no, not California, Erica. My California, baby, they telling them people if they don't show up to that appointment with their child with enrollment papers somewhere, they don't know how they're going to give them the aid. They scared the child may be in unsafe conditions in a burn up house. Y'all think I know y'all believe California the best. I know. But y'all like, I can't believe Trump is judging us and saying they might not give aid because of our policies. That's terrible. Just gonna go there. Brandy, I'll sit this one out. Federally declared disaster zones can carry casualty losses to the prior year and may result in a refund. You're welcome. For sure. Now let me go ahead and play a few more. Because I don't want you to take my word for it. Please don't take my word for it. Don't hear what I have to say for it. Like, listen to somebody else talk about it. We can go and let other people. Just confirmation. Keep it simple. Like, I can't even release some of the clips I got from insurance training, because the insurance companies are coming to train you to tell you how you need to talk to them. It's very interesting. It's very interesting how they're handling this.
People are trying to make deals with empty houses that were supposed to be for sale. The phone has not stopped ringing. We have over 1,500 new renters just locally. I'm about 10 minutes away from the Palisades. There's an entire off-market business that's being done right now. We're in uncharted waters here. Ordinances are changing by the hour, which is good because people are trying to figure out a way to speed the build process to get these people back to normal life. But also at the same time, even somebody like me, I'm learning as we go. If you asked me 2 weeks ago about price gouging in real estate, I wouldn't even know what you were talking about. And now it's a very big deal here. There's over 2,000 units of people who had different prices late December, and now they are higher in January. And it's really a race to who can get to these leases first and make a deal. And we don't even know what's going to happen at the end of the day.
I think starting roughly on Wednesday morning, we started getting phone calls from real estate agents based in and around Los Angeles first saying, hey, we have clients who might need to evacuate. They're thinking about maybe coming to the East Coast. On Thursday, that picked up. Obviously, on Friday, it became worse and worse. We've been fielding those calls all throughout the weekend, and we've started facilitating rentals. But now those have also turned into purchases immediately, and people have come to us and said, listen, this was the final straw, right, for the state. We're just going to move, and they're coming to Connecticut, New Jersey, parts of Long Island, the Hamptons, New York City, absolutely, and across Florida.
This is absolutely stunning.
Look, this is...
Excuse me, I apologize. I didn't mean to cough in your ear like that. I apologize. Let me be very clear. Why are they getting calls from agents? So I can make sure y'all understand what's going on. Does anybody in the chat understand why agents are calling other agents in other states? Anybody? Let me know if you're having a hard time here. I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds. Let me know if you understand why agents are calling other agents. But I'm gonna read this right here. They're distributing financial aid for wildfire victims. I applied for a part-time with one of the companies handling customer service calls. Girl, you better get that. Or get that money. Thank you, Diamond Dave. For sure. Okay. Anybody? Nope, no comment. Oh, okay. I see some comments coming through. I'm gonna let them come through. Why would a realtor be calling, okay, people all over? Why would they be doing that? All right. Help me. I'm trying to figure out. Relocation referrals. You get 20%. Excuse me. I apologize, y'all. You get 20% on that. Now, 20% on if you go to Connecticut and buy a $500,000 house. Now, again, commission, but I'm going to get 20% of your commission. Think about that. Trust me, there are people right here in Dallas and in Houston. I've already been on the phone with them. Girl, I'm too busy. I can't talk to you. Text me. I done had 30 phone calls of people coming to Houston, buying a duplex with the check that they just got coming from California. I don't think y'all understand how fast and quickly it's gonna go. Commission, feeling out the market, yeah. Looking for the best deal. Looking for the best. How can I get the best deal for my client? My client's thirsty to move. What do you have? What is January, y'all? Anybody here know real estate? Or I mean, again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Anybody know what's going on? Why I bought my house in January? Why people buy houses in December and January? Why the prices on the houses that they had for sale in California went up? December and January, they call them dead man months. They call them emergency months. If you're moving in December, January, it's because a lease expired. It's because something went wrong. It's because there's a divorce. It's because like you're moving during winterization time, right? When people move in December and January, you get good deals, right? Because people don't want to move in snow. People don't want to move in cold. But number one, why? People don't want to move their kids in the middle of a school year. People don't want to move their kids in school year. Nobody buying in December, January. I went to go see the house that I closed on. And when I went, they hadn't had nobody for a whole month. The builder's like, what incentives do you want, baby? We'll give them to you. Because we ain't had nobody. Ain't nobody here. Okay? Referral fees. That's right. Referral fees. Relocation. All right? Yeah. I mean, but Houston and Dallas. If they're smart, Houston and Dallas. Because the size of the house you can get and I'll show y'all in a clip or two. Right? Commission, filling on the market. You know, Francesca, if your client says, I'm at an Airbnb 20 minutes from my house. I just drove by my house. It looks like S. The whole street looks like S. I'm not going to sit here and play with California for 18 months to get my house rebuilt. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. If you're 70 years old, this is your retirement. I know you're like, but they're going to stay in LA. They're going to stay in California. They'll benefits. No, they're not. If they've been on the fence waiting should we move? I don't know. Listen, y'all, if y'all heard the phone calls I've gotten from people, they got a duplex in Compton. The streets becoming more and more white. Should they move? Should they sell? I'm like, girl, never sell, right? But they want to move. That's all. Just letting you know. First to market, getting boots on the ground. Yeah. See, you used to establish relationships. Now imagine you have all these realtors who fell off. They fell off. Damn, don't do that, Francesca. They already done fell off. So now I got to even see if you're an active realtor and if you're a lazy realtor. If you even going to be proactive, if you're going to act like it's an emergency. I have a person burnt out their home going across the state. They don't have nothing. They're going to come to Connecticut and have to buy everything from scratch. This is what happened in Texas that people really don't want to tell you about. We had so many furniture stores close last year in Texas because really 2020, 21 furniture store people were like just laughing to the bank because people would come and be like, you know, it's cheaper for me to just sell all my stuff and buy new stuff when I get here. Right? Hibernation, you already know. You already know. Less competition, all that. All of these. Definitely better. Bought a house in January. Listen, honey, if I could tell you, I could tell you. I'm surprised you did. We're getting there. We're getting there. But if I know Vegas is and Arizona is soaked up full of Cali people already. It's already soaked up. And I've been thinking, maybe let's try the East Coast for a year or two, 3 or 4 years. In 5 years, I could always come back. If your papa's 75, 70, and your son or daughter's talking about, well, no, let's not go to Arizona. Let's not go to Las Vegas because you're older and it's hot. Let's go to Connecticut. Let's go to New York. Let's go to Florida, Dad. You've been talking about Florida, Dad. It's a great time to go get a $285,000 house in Florida, Dad. It's a great time to get a $350,000 house in Florida, Dad. It's a great time. It's a great time. All right? It's a great time. Oh, they were crazy. They were crazy. I knew if anything happened to my aunt's house in LA, they would be in Ohio after that. They hold retirements in the house. Come on. That's their retirement. That's their retirement. Okay, let me show y'all some more. Let's keep on going. Let me keep it going. Let me keep it moving. Here we go. Let's talk about the Black folks that are in those areas, because I don't want them to be ignored, but they are being.
Historic wildfires. Tonight, firefighters are racing to make progress against wildfires that have destroyed thousands of homes and killed at least 16 people. This as forecasters warn of new fire danger with the return of powerful winds this week. Fierce Santa Ana winds turned flames last week into infernos that leveled entire neighborhoods, as you see there, where there has been no significant rainfall for more than 8 months. Right now, there are 3 active wildfires, the biggest being the Palisades fire at more than 23,000 acres. The Eden fire has scorched more than 14,000 acres. Let's go straight to CBS's Maurice Dubois in Los Angeles, who leads us off tonight. Maurice, good evening.
Jerika, good evening to you. Today, California's Governor Gavin Newsom said he thinks these wildfires will be the worst natural disaster in U.S. history, quote, in terms of just the costs associated with it.
First of all, I'm going there. Why they send the Black reporter out? But let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. I'm sorry. Let me stay focused. Just it is.
And the numbers are indeed staggering. Some 10,000 structures destroyed, more than 60 square miles scorched, about 200,000 people tonight under evacuation orders or warnings. Today, the FBI reported airdrops have been disrupted multiple times by people flying drones. The Bureau called that number in the double digits. And one of 2 Canadian super scoopers went to be grounded after being damaged by a drone.
First, before I let y'all finish, let me. When y'all love telling me about California, let me just give you one more. Oregon and Oregon sent 50 fire trucks. The state of Oregon, they sent them down the highway. They're like, go, 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 go. Guess what? San Francisco. What's the other highway? Dang it. I can't think of it. It's over there where it's real dry, dusty where the farmers live up north. They stopped the fire trucks from Oregon because of emissions testing. They said these trucks aren't allowed to be on California roads. Listen, the amount of lawsuits that's going to come through. Imagine I am the governor of Oregon. I am rendering aid to your state, California. Beautiful California. You're so beautiful, Erica, the weather. Okay. And I send 50 fire trucks, and you start, your highway patrol is pulling fire trucks off the side of the road to tell them, y'all don't have the right emissions to be on the road. He said, he called Gavin Newsom, couldn't get through. I said, now, you explain to me where California is so smart and it's so beautiful and it's such a wonderful state that's ran so well that we're going to pull over 50 fire trucks. Not all of them. I think they pulled over 13 of the 50. Okay? In the middle of the bottom part of the state burning up. I'm pretty sure San Francisco has TV. I'm pretty sure San Francisco can turn on the news. I'm pretty sure San Francisco PD can get on the radio and say, hey, we got some fire trucks from Oregon coming through the state. I pulled them over for emissions tests. Yeah. Does that make any sense to somebody who is in a well-ran state, in a functioning state, in a state that wants some help in the middle of a fire? Does that make sense? Las Vegas, Mexico sent trucks. They were also stopped. They didn't want to pull salt water from the ocean because Gavin Newsom then said the vegetation, y'all, the vegetation. Salt water is bad for our crops and our grounds. Salt water's bad, y'all. It's bad for us. We can't do it. And when it got on the news that they weren't pulling the salt water, they said, well, you know, we're gonna change. We're gonna sign it. Sure. Let's go get some of that salt water. Northern California's mayors and city council said, we are willing to give Southern California all the water it needs. Whatever y'all need, just here, we're turning on the here, take all our water here, take it. The beautiful Asian man Republican y'all have of Northern California telling y'all, take the water. We approved it the day one we saw the fire. Gavin Newsom won't return our calls. And you're telling me that this state won't be involved in lawsuits for the next 5 years. You're telling me the Oregon governor who got on camera and told you, I called Gavin. He didn't answer. I called my state patrol to call their state patrol because Oregon sent some of their state patrol to ride down through the states to make sure it was safe on the roads. Again, when y'all tell me about California, how beautiful and how functional, how wonderful it is, I go, okay. And I'm going to tell you how you can make money off this because people go die hard for their state. I'm going to tell you how to make some money off this. I mean, this ain't just a show where I'm bashing California. That's not what this show is about. Okay. But let me go ahead. Let me keep it in. Let me stop.
Tonight, the governor has ordered the deployment of an additional 1,000 California National Guard troops. Authorities say at least 29 people have been arrested for breaking curfew or suspected looting, including one person allegedly dressed as a firefighter. And of the 16 deaths across the region, 11 were in Altadena near Pasadena. CBS's Elise Preston is there for us tonight. Elise, good evening to you.
Maurice, good evening to you. There are 12 people missing in the Eaton fire and at least 7,000 structures damaged or destroyed. One of those structures was the beloved home of Michael and Felita Keeling. The Eaton fire has devoured parts of Altadena and Pasadena, historic communities that generations of Black families called home. Those homes are now gone.
Nice to meet you.
I'm so sorry. Michael Keeling and his family are my distant relatives.
No, you look like the Prestons.
Michael's great-grandparents first settled in this part of the country more than a century ago during the Great Migration, when millions of Black Americans moved across the country, hoping for better opportunities.
It actually is worse than I thought.
We are all meeting for the first time as the family sees what's left of the house where they created 25 years worth of memories.
It was really hard watching on TV as the things you're familiar with were burning down. That really hurt.
Yeah.
This is like the only house I've ever known. I still see the house.
As the fire approached their home, Preston and Miles gathered what they could.
My dad calls me, asked him, what do I need to get? Like, what's irreplaceable? So you come to get the photo album.
That album, an heirloom of family photos spanning 4 generations of our shared family history.
I've seen that photo in my grandparents' house, this photo right here.
For this family.
I ain't trying to be funny, but if I just had sons at the house, oh Lord, oh God, boys be like, where's the ketchup? It's right there. It's right in the door of the refrigerator. Okay, let me get serious. I'm sorry.
My family, precious lives, and priceless.
Baby, these photos they showing you, this is what the Indian people look like in North Carolina, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Memories spared.
If you're fortunate enough to have insurance, you can rebuild. You can put your stuff back in a new place. But the images and the letters and the faces of the people that have either with you or have gone before you, those you're not going to be able to replace when they're taken by a fire.
Now, the family says they have insurance and plan to rebuild here in Altadena with hopes of leaving something for future generations. Maurice?
Elise Preston, thank you.
During the old illegal discriminatory practice of redlining, parts of Altadena were open where people of color could buy homes.
So generations of Black families planted roots there. Eyewitness News reporter Annabelle Munoz spoke to one of those families and takes a closer look at Altadena's Black history. She's live with this story from Pasadena. Annabelle?
Hi, Philip. Well, right now we're outside of Octavia's bookshelf here in Pasadena. You can see all the jugs and cases of water. And that is because this bookstore is operating as a resource center. And I should mention, it is named after a prominent Black figure in Black history, author Octavia Butler. Let's go inside. I want to show you all of these shelves that you see to the right. They're typically filled with books. Those books have gone into storage as they've started collecting donations for folks impacted by the Eaton fire.
Altadena holds a history of family, struggle, and beloved community.
At one time, we were 30% African American.
The Mountain View Cemetery is the resting place of abolitionist and educator Ellen Garrison Jackson Clark and renowned author Octavia Butler. The community is also home to hundreds of Black families whose homes were ravaged by the Eaton fire 1 week ago.
You've got 3 generations of, and we are Daniels, Franklin, Hughes, and we have an element that's not here, Freeney.
Between these families, 7 homes were destroyed.
There's generational wealth that is in question now.
One that is still standing is the home Shelley Daniels and her husband, Paul, purchased for about $16,000 in 1960.
At that time, it was pretty difficult as a Black person to get past Woodbury.
60.
At that
purchased for about $16,000 in
$16,000. $16,000. Your granny bought a house for $16,000 in 1960. The value of these houses in this area is $2 to $4 million, and there's so much more. I'm just telling you from one of the phone calls I've been on. $2 to $4 million. How many years has Granny getting offers for HELOC, offers for cash refinance? How many years? 16. Let's say it one more time. $16,000. Now, what are they going to say? They're going to say, Erica, it's about the generational wealth. It's about passing it down. Baby, this is Granny's retirement. She can't pay $16,000 anywhere in California and get a whole house, even if it's old, even if they've been needed to update stuff. She can't get nothing for $16,000 anywhere. But let me continue. My head hurt already. My head hurting. I don't think y'all understand. Talking about when they talk about millionaire Black people in California, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's not that you have so many millionaire Black business owners. Sometimes you have Black people who own a house that they bought for $16,000 in 1960. And on paper, grandma can say she has a $3 million house, a $2 million house that's got additions and an RV in the back and a pool. Because they just keep on staying there. Okay, let me finish. Let me continue.
1960. At that time, it was pretty difficult as a Black person to get past Woodbury, really.
Shelley and Paul were engaged in racial justice efforts with organizations like the NAACP and Women in Action.
We organized in order to get a Black member on the city council.
Shelley's granddaughter, Jamaica Hughes, lived in one of the family homes that was destroyed.
I've raised my kids here. Their friends are reaching out. I've had friends reach out to me literally from junior high school.
Hughes is determined to return and rebuild, a wish her 93-year-old grandmother echoes.
I would hope for Altadena to rebuild.
Her grandma is 93 years old. Her daughter lives with her. Her granddaughter lives with her. Her great-granddaughter lives with her. When people try to convince me in any part of the country against Black people owning a house, and especially a house with 3 bedrooms, minimum, I look under the table. Is there a camera here? Is this a candid camera? Is there a microphone? Are you up here? Are you up here tricking me? because that don't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Every white family since 1960 that bought a home. This again, when people keep saying, "Oh man, you know, black people, y'all selling grandma home and all this," listen. Cut it out. Cut it out. Is this a trick? When Grant Cardone sitting here telling you not to buy a home, and he done bought a home on Malibu, on the water, that's $60 million from a Russian oligarch, and his house is the only house left because, let's go there, the Scientologists sent young people out there to spray water on the edges by his house. They hooked up water faucets and hoses to his neighbors' burnt down houses and sprayed water from the pool. And Grant Cardone's house is the only house left. And now Grant Cardone is doing a tour up and down the state talking about let's rebuild California. Baby, you got to stop it. I literally bought a house, y'all, because the builder said, Erica, we need to sell this. I'll give it to you for 3%. We'll buy all the rates down. I said, did you say what? 3%? Hell yeah, let's go. And we're going to give you some money to close. Please. We'll give you the money to close. Texas, I'm in Texas, and they still need to sell houses. Johnny, yes, but historically it was black. It's saying, she said it's 30% at one point. Now it's 20%. We get it. We get it. Relax. I feel you. I hear you. But we still going to call it black for the sake of the argument. For the sake of the argument. You dig what I'm saying? For the sake of the argument. We're going to let it rock. We're going to let it do what it do. Can we let it do what it do for today? Just for today. Okay, let me finish this. Because I'm already, my blood pressure.
I don't think I'll be able to see Altadena rebuild, but I do hope that Altadena rebuilds because it's a wonderful place.
Today, Altadena is a diverse community, roughly 18% African American and 27% Latino.
Give honor and homage to the diversity.
You hear her say that? 20% Latino. She made sure to emphasize on that Latino. Boy, get out of here.
Of our community. There's a large Japanese presence in Altadena.
Veronica Jones, a lifelong resident of Altadena and president of the Altadena Historical Society, hopes the voices of these residents are at the center of an equitable rebuilding of the city. She also has a message to the many intergenerational Black families who call this home.
They don't have to leave. It's their home. It's their place that people...
I don't know if you can hear it through the mask. The mask is driving me crazy, but I know they're older people and the smoke is bad. She's saying, you don't have to leave. This is your place. This is your home. Don't leave. Again, the language to the African-American people in these places of California. I know there's 3, 4, 5 generations of y'all smashed up in a house. You may have made some additions to the house. You may not be smashed up at all. You may be nicely comfortable in the house. Don't leave. But is your grandbaby and grandchildren thriving in California? This is the question. Are they thriving? Listen, if you've been in California since 1960, baby, don't come back here to North Carolina. Stay on over there. Your kids and your grandkids kind of weird. It's okay. Stay on over there. But think about the numbers is what I want y'all to understand. Okay, let me finish.
You know, years ago, set down the stakes and paid the price for them to be here.
Let's go there. You know what you know who she's talking to. Your granddaddy and your grandma bought the house. Please don't sell the house. That's what she's saying. It's the nice way to say, please don't sell grandma's house. Please don't sell grandma's house. We're begging you. Don't sell grandma's house.
Receiving thousands of.
Y'all know that's what it is. It may be possible. Stop it. They go to the people of color. Yeah, with that silly mess. $16,000. She bought a home. $16,000. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying when people say, look at all these millionaire Black people in California, or someone tells you they're a millionaire landowner in California, they may own 2 houses. If you tell me you a millionaire in Ohio, Missouri, South Carolina, Alabama, I'm like, they probably got 50 houses, you know what I mean? But it's just, I'm just letting you know. What you just heard was, please don't sell grandma's house. That's what you just heard. That's what you just heard. The land alone is worth $1 million. I'm telling you. Listen, I'm telling you. Johnny, I'm not gonna go there, but you know you're right. Let me keep going. I had a different video I want to show next, but where is it? Okay. Hold on. Y'all may not like this young lady. Y'all may not like this lady, but it's just for the sake of argument, I'm gonna play them because hold on one second. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. But yeah, you know, in the South, people selling grandma house for 30, 50,000, sometimes 100,000. They gonna sell grandma house hopefully for 800,000. God, but you can get 1.5 if you wait.
Palisades in Santa Monica requires permits, lots of permits, and you're going to have to deal with the Coastal Commission. And the Coastal Commission is not friendly, and they don't expedite anything. Suzanne Summers, the late great Suzanne Summers, and her husband Alan Hamill had a house burned down in Malibu years ago, tried to rebuild, couldn't deal with the Coastal Commission. For 7 years, they had to deal with permitting and the Coastal Commission, and ended up moving to Palm Springs. You're going to see a lot of people in Malibu who may have voted blue start voting red if their permitting and the Coastal Commission and all the bureaucracy starts getting involved. If people cannot rebuild their home in a timely fashion or gets regulated to the point where it just becomes impractical or undoable, you're going to see a lot of angry campers, which is what happened to Bill Maher. Bill Maher was hard left, and as hard left as they would go until he tried to pull a permit to put solar power in his home in Beverly Hills. And after 3 years of arguing with the city, he's starting to sound like me.
Imagine California, home of the let's be green, let's save the fish, let's everybody get electric vehicles, let's get solar panels. It took him 3 years of arguing back and forth with the city to put solar panels on the house. Suzanne Summers, 5 years of trying to rebuild her house. She's a rich white woman, y'all. She's a rich white woman. She couldn't do it. I don't think y'all are in a real world where you think California functions. You're not. You're not in a real world if you think California functions. This is why a lot of money will be made. And I'm going to get to that point of describing how you can make money off of it, because that's people come to the channel for this. Builders, plumbers, welders, roofers, they not coming to your granny house unless you got cash money to pay them, because they don't want to play with the insurance company. They don't want to file forms. They don't want to submit permits. They don't want to run around and do that. A lot of licensed contractors will file the paperwork for people. Okay? Okay? But this ideal that California runs any type of way efficiency, when you have multimillionaires who are on TV begging the state to just let them put solar panels on their house, this is something nobody wants to acknowledge. This Texas is #1 in alternative energy. Solar panel, wind, turbine, natural gas, all this stuff. #1. What was the cause of our power outage during the storm? The connection between the wind turbines, the solar, and our regular grid. If Texas is running at top #1 spot and telling you we did all the stuff, we've built all the turbines, we did the natural gas, we put billions, if not, I think it's $50 million or $60 million into alternative energy in Texas. And when time was needed, it failed. It failed. I just want y'all to understand that. Bill Maher, hard left, fighting 3 years to get solar panels put on his house in a state that is telling you we love solar panels. If you go look back at Arnold Schwarzenegger, that vote that you guys were supposed to do in 2008, or was it 2007? And Arnold Schwarzenegger say, if you don't vote this particular vote, the state will be on a crash course for bankruptcy. There's no turning. It doesn't matter if we make billions of dollars selling fruit, selling veggies, selling technology. It doesn't matter if we make $900 billion in selling all this stuff. We're on a crash course because this does not work. Giving people free stuff doesn't work. Your policies don't work long term. Squeezing people for 3 years because they want to put solar panels on their house doesn't work. No one goes to work every day so they can come and fight coastal committee to rebuild their house. No one does that. No one goes to work every day to say, boy, I can't wait to get home and be on the phone for 3 hours with the coastal committee. No one. No one. No one does that. No one does that. Okay. Let me finish a little bit of this and go on to the next.
You know, I should tell our audience he was going to be on the show today, but he had to postpone because of the fires. I think he's in the midst of this, dealing with it himself. Yeah, no, he hasn't been totally red-pilled because he's got some TDS going there. He definitely hates Donald Trump, but he is one of the normal liberals who we all used to know and love and argue with, but didn't like get grossed out by. Like these woke people who care more about who you're sleeping with than whether you can fight fires when they put you in charge of a department. Look, I don't know whether this Kristen Crowley's incompetent or not, but I know that the reservoirs weren't filled and the fire hydrants didn't have water. And it seems like something she should have been jumping up and down about for a long time because that's literally her job. There's a report, though, that a bunch of money, Adam, I mean, I haven't totally followed the California reservoir politics for a long time. But Jillian Michaels, she tweeted out that in 2014, voters in California put $2.7 billion towards securing future water storage through Prop 1. By 2025, not a single reservoir has been completed. I mean, that's unbelievable. $2.7 billion towards securing future water storage in,
$2.7 billion. Just like the magical $24 billion that Gavin Newsom put to the homeless project, that they found $9 million of it went to one mansion, and it's listed as other. But let me leave that alone. Let me keep going.
10 years ago, and by today, not a single reservoir.
10 years. I gave you $2.7 billion in 10 years. Say what you want about Texas. Say what you want about Florida. But boy, they're going to build some mess. Miami building too much mess, but they're going to build it. And we're going to figure it out next Tuesday. Okay. Which ain't great either, but it happens. Let me finish this. Let me go on.
Has been completed. They spent money to put power lines underground, which also didn't happen. And they're also spending all this money on freaking high-speed rail, which has almost no chance of happening. So it's impossible to look at this and not ask whether some huge portion of it is due to mismanagement.
Well, I mean, the high-speed rail you speak of is $80 billion over budget, and
$80 billion over budget. But I'm going to argue for 3 years with Bill Maher about putting solar panels on his house. Y'all, you can't think this state is ran well. You can't. You can't have ears and eyes and a piece of paper and a pen. You can't. You can't, you guys. Come on now.
it's not high-speed rail that connects LA with San Francisco or LA with San Diego or LA with Vegas. It's high-speed rail that started in 2008, was supposed to be done in 2020, has already gone 80 billion over budget, and is connecting Bakersfield with Merced. Now, for those of you who are not in California and never heard of Merced, neither have people who live in California. Nobody I know even knows where Merced is, and they have lived here for many years. There's nothing in between Bakersfield and Merced. There's no reason to connect those two places. They're about 2 hours apart if you drive, which everyone does. And there's no thinkable, reasonable, rational reason why they keep dumping money into this boondoggle, but yet they do. We could have had power lines that were buried. We could have had reservoirs. We could have had aquifers. We could have had a system for collecting rainwater and so on and so forth. Instead, we have a $100 billion train to nowhere that no one's ever going to ride, and no piece of track has even been laid yet.
Here, this report, I want to get to the rail again in 1 second, but this report just coming to my attention. In May of 2024, they hired a new Department of Water and Power head in LA by the name of Janice Quinones, who replaced a guy named Martin Adams. And they doubled the salary for that position. He was getting $435,000. She got $750,000. They said they had to do it to stay competitive. So this one
$750,000 salary to people that ain't even doing their job, y'all. This ain't political. I'm just setting this up before I give y'all the what you can do to make money.
Okay, who is younger and diverse and a woman, gets the salary doubled and the fire hydrants remain empty. So it just seems like a problem to me.
All right, that's enough of that. California, that's enough. I cannot. Let me give you these last two, and then I'm gonna go on the list of things you can do to make money. Now, I will say this is one thing I want to show y'all that I thought was decent. Someone asked me, and I'm going to address this question. Erica, are you still on Instagram? I can't find you anymore. You can find me at Bill Wealth with Erica Williams. But really what ended up happening is I have been suspended for all my juicy, over-the-top political time. Hey, hush. And I keep trying to get it back, but I'm not really worried about it because I have 7 other Instagram accounts. And we're going to talk about making money with Instagrammers in a second, and also with this fire. Ooh, Lord. Let me go over here real quick. And we just brought up old boy a minute ago. And I just want y'all to hear this because I think if he just works on the motivational stuff, he can make it, but not the other stuff he says.
As long as you hadn't quit. So like you can't break me. That means I can take a lot of risks because I'm not worried about going broke because I can't be broken. I have my spirituality, I have my creativity, I have my persistence, I got courage. Like there ain't no breaking me, man. Shit, I'm a dangerous man. I'm a dangerous beast. It don't matter that you're broke as long as you hadn't quit. So like you can't break me. That means I can take a lot of risks because I'm not worried about going broke because I can't be broken. I have my spirituality, I have my creativity, I have my persistence, I got courage. Like there ain't no breaking me, man.
Listen, I will just tell you this: broke people are dangerous people. Do with that what you will. Let me go over here. Do I have the video? Lord Jesus. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna show this one and then I'm gonna go on to where's the other video? Dang it. Let me see if I can pull this up. Okay. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Yeah. I know what I'm gonna do. I know what order I'm gonna do it in. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna do it. All right, here we go. I'm gonna do it in this order. Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm gonna do. That's much better, I think. Yeah. Okay, let me finish this video and then let me show you this and then I'm gonna show you some. We're gonna go on to the ways to make money because I could do like 3 hours of complaining about California, y'all. And y'all ain't here for that. Y'all here for what's the solution, Erica? And I'm gonna give it to you.
Calls about sales and rentals in California, everyone looking for a place to stay. They're also getting emerging reports about price gouging. For more, we're joined by Redfin CEO Glenn Kelman and our own Diana Olick. Welcome to both of you. Diana, kick things off.
Thanks, Kelly. And thanks to you, Glenn, for joining us. I know Redfin is based in Seattle, but you have a huge presence in the Los Angeles area.
I've never in my life met a redhead woman wear a light green jacket. And I don't know who's on staff, but this needs to be addressed. Let me finish.
How many agents and how many offices do you have there?
500 agents and 5 offices.
And what are you hearing from those agents? Since I've seen that there are reports of them getting thousands of calls on a single property listed over the weekend. What are they telling you?
People are desperate for housing right now, especially rental housing. Redfin agents, like many agents in the area, are now representing people on rentals pro bono. There's really no money in that business, but it's obviously what we need to do to rebuild our community.
First of all, this is a lie. If you know anything about real estate, I used to be apartment manager. I got to just clarify this. When people this is what happens when the news say something and y'all just think, oh, there's no money in it, right? Incorrect. If you rent an apartment and I take you to the apartment complex gives me first month rent. Now, a lot of apartment complexes have been out there a long time. They go, no, I'm not giving you first month rent. I'm going to give you 20%, 30%, 40%. If you live in California and you talking about $3,000, $4,000 rental rates, okay? Not all, but just saying for the sake of this argument. And you give me 20%, that's $1,000. It's $1,000 and some change. That's not no money. Let's say you give me 50% of the rent because you really want that. You want them Palisade numbers. You want them. You give me 50%. That's anywhere from $2,000 or more. That's not no money. If I do 100 of those, I made my money for the year. In Austin, Texas, the way this young lady made her bones off me, I would call her and say, hey, girl, I got another one. I can't put her in this apartment complex, but I'm going to give you her number. And right. And again, no laws broken. Hands in the air, no laws broken. I gave this realtor 70 people that she could facilitate and take them over to the brand new apartment complex. She gave me about 70 gift cards that had $50 max on them. Now I'm balling in the office, showing off to these office people, lunch on me, snacks on me. I got gift cards. And really one day I pissed off the young white man in the office who was in the process of getting his real estate license. I was supposed to be getting mine. He was supposed to be getting his. He comes in the office and says, shut up about it, Erica. The girl made, if you do the math, $1,000 to $2,000 every time you sent her somebody. So yeah, you got a desk full of $50 gift cards, but she got $100,000 to $200,000 this year off you. Now, baby, when I did the math on them 70 gift cards at $50, and then did the math that girl that he was talking about was driving a Mercedes to my referrals, baby, I was hot. I was hot to trot. I was hot, and I couldn't be mad at anybody but myself. Because people were moving to Texas left and right, and they didn't even want to look at apartments. They want you to take them to 2 and get it over with. Take me to 2 and keep it moving. We were turning down engineers and nurses because they had evictions from California 7 years ago. Oh, it haven't fell off your credit yet. We're going to turn you away. And the little trick about that is you had to go to a new construction apartment. New construction apartment didn't care if you had evictions. They didn't care if you had eviction on Sunday and you was coming there Monday, as long as you gave them an extra month's deposit. Why? Because when you have new construction, they're trying to get the construction loan finished. You can only finish the rest of your construction on your apartment complex as you so leases are being leased. Okay? Okay? So he lying. And y'all may not know that, but he lying. And I just want to, there's a reason he's doing that. Okay? There's a reason he's doing that. So let me keep it pushing.
Community, many people who listed their homes have withdrawn the listing and instead decided to rent it out, and they're trying to get top dollar for it. So this was already an inventory constrained market, and it's just gotten much, much worse.
And what about price gouging? We're hearing on the rental side, of course. I mean, some homeowners who wanted to sell are raising their list prices, those, as you say, that are taking them off the market to take advantage of rentals. Are you seeing those rent prices just soar?
Well, we haven't aggregated any quantitative data on it yet, but anecdotally, you hear about people suddenly asking for double the amount of rent. This is in an area where the median income would have to be used for 80% of the rent. So people already were having a hard time making their nut. It's just going to get much harder now because so many people are displaced.
Glenn, it's Kelly here. Can you give us a sense of how many properties are even available to be rented, or I don't know if it's Airbnb? I mean, how much inventory is there for all the people who are displaced right now to stay in something roughly approximating the area?
Well, there were 17,000 units heading into the fire. I think many people are now opening up their homes, trying to rent them out as Airbnbs. So it's a really volatile situation where we don't know just how many beds are going to be made available over the next month. We have seen communities like this in Tampa Bay and Hawaii recover more quickly than people realize, but it still is going to take a long time to rebuild all these homes, 2 or 3 years at the least. And LA is going to look completely different when we're done, just because it's been rezoned for much higher density than we had in places like Pacific Palisades or Malibu before.
And Glenn, looking just about 6 months into the future, we already know that LA is one of the highest priced markets in the country. The median price around $900,000, even higher in the Pacific Palisades. For existing homes right now in the LA area that were not part of the fire, do you expect to see home prices soar over the next 6 months? And by how much do you think that gain is going to be?
It's really hard to say because the fires haven't even stopped burning. So we don't know how many people are going to leave the area. We don't know how many homes are going to burn. We have seen just over the past week that more people want to list their home than buy a home. So I think Southern Californians are having second thoughts about living in fire-prone areas. But the other factor that you just have to think about in affordability, we used to think only about home prices and mortgage rates, but now we also have to consider home insurance rates. That is the third factor that no one really had to worry about. But in some cases, especially in the riskiest areas, insurance rates are doubling, tripling, quadrupling. And I think you had 13% of California agents last year say that a deal didn't come through because the customer couldn't afford the insurance.
And so that would lower the value of the home, because when you put that insurance rate, that additional rate that would be for a home buyer, that's going to lower the value. But how does the value of the home get affected by the fact that perhaps there are not services around, that it's going to take a year or two for the entire neighborhood to rebuild? Does that lower the value of homes that are still standing as well?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many puts and takes here. It's really hard to say. On one hand, you're just going to have less inventory. And on the other hand, you're going to have homes that are the only homes standing on a block. And I don't know how many people really want to live in an area like that. But my guess is that the demise of Southern California has been predicted many times. It is one of the most beautiful, amazing, resilient places.
Oh my God,
people
it's
are
so beautiful.
always going to want to live there.
They're going to
So
live there.
I think prices are probably just going to keep going up.
Boom. Boom. Horrible. Boom. Did you hear what he said? Out of all the lies he was telling, it's going to go up. Let's be very, very clear. Let's be very clear now. Let's be very clear. Hold on. Was this the last one? All right, I'm good. Hold on. Oh, anyway, I got one more, and then I'm going to break down what are all the things you can do to make money. I'm going to give you about 7, I think is on my paper. And we can go from there. Okay. And you can decide what you want to do. Okay. Let's really go there. It's been rezoned. What does that mean? Your grandma may build her house and she may put an ADU in the back. She now is in a rezoned area. She can do that. They also rezoned here in Austin for that same stuff, and people are very mad about it. Okay. And some areas in Austin have taken a big advantage of it, and they put ADUs everywhere in the back. Okay. So that's good, because now grandma can get her house back and you can live in the backyard with your family, and you can all stay back like you were. Cool. No problem. Great. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. The Olympics in LA is 2028. Gavin Newsom wants to run for president. The ConocoPhillips son that got adopted up there in Ohio, or is it Pennsylvania? He's the better pick for sure, but don't count Gavin Newsom out. His auntie that's going to run again, the 84 years old, that's got the shakes now. She done made millions of dollars in the stock market. And if she can say, from my family came a president, baby, don't get it twisted. But Gavin Newsom going to clean it up a little bit before the Olympics. I just want y'all to pay attention now. 2028 Olympics come. Homeless people ain't going to be nowhere. If I was a person who owned a house in anywhere in LA, I'm not selling before the Olympics come. I'm going to let you stay there because your house ain't going to be rebuilt for another 3 years. I already know you're going to be here. You're going to rent till you can figure out where the next place you can move you and your family. So I got a good 3 years out of you coming. Good money coming out of you for 3 years. Now that third year, I'm going to not renew your lease and I'm going to get you out because it might take a whole year to get you out, just the way California runs. I'm going to take that whole year to get you out because of how slow y'all legal system is over there. But I'm going to get you out because I need this place to be open for the Olympics. Come on, man. Come on, man. I hope y'all can see that play. Oh, the Olympics is coming? I'm so sorry. Yeah, 3 years ago, my house burned down. We don't care. The Olympics is here. The Olympics is here. We don't care. We don't care. So if I'm a person and I know what's about to happen, the Olympics is coming, I'm out. I'm taking this money, I'm gone. I know y'all say, but the house is so beautiful, Erica, the house is so beautiful. If the house in the area is so beautiful, I'll try to come back in 5 years. I'm going to go somewhere else in 5 years. I'm going to come back. I may be in San Diego for a few years and come back, but I'm not going to stay here. Not with a $3 to $9 million house. There you go. I'm from Altadena. My parents and our family have owned our home since 1969. We're the few homes left untouched from the Eaton fires. Community is extremely tight-knit and aware of the land grab. You see, he lied and tried to say, oh, I don't know if you're the last house in the neighborhood, if your price going to go up. Yes, your price is going to go up. Are the people going to ask you, did you, do the clean out the smoke? Did you get new drywall? Did you get new windows? Did you upgrade since the fire? Did you kill paint it? Does it smell better? For sure, all that. But they know too, if it's $3 to $9 million in that area, they can tear your stuff down or build onto your stuff. They just want to be in that area. All right. So let's go on to it. I'm gonna give you this last clip and then I'm gonna show you the 7 more ways to make money off this event, depending on where you're at and what you're doing. So here we go. Let me share the screen. I hope I've conveyed how difficult this will be for some people. I hope I've conveyed it.
Their financial priorities to help build the state's economy post-pandemic. And this includes expanding access to health care for undocumented immigrants and attempts to cancel student debt, among many other big ticket efforts. Our Capitol Bureau reporter, Ashley Zavala, joins us now live from Sacramento. Ashley, what is driving this big budget?
Yeah, Justine, it's a combination of greater than expected forecasts for this year's general revenue funds, as well as help from the federal government. The state is hoping to make progress on several of its systems, including the Employment Development Department, homelessness, and student debt, for example.
We have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to make transformative changes for California.
With higher than forecasted revenues and $26 billion in stimulus money from the federal government, some state Democrats have big financial hopes in their budget priorities laid out Wednesday. Among the proposals is a $100 million effort to immediately expand state health insurance to all Californians 65 and up, regardless of immigration status, and eventually extend it to all, regardless of status, with a phased-in approach. The priority list also includes funding to expand access to early childhood care and education, money for first-time home buyers, and a 5-year, $20 billion plan to tackle homelessness with more permanent housing programs.
Our goals, a more equitable economy that provides pathways out of poverty and expanded access to wealth so that we can restore our middle class, and we also want to dramatically reduce homelessness.
The lawmakers also want to minimize student debt by expanding middle-class access to scholarships. The group is also urging the Biden administration to cancel student debt up to $50,000 per student.
This will eliminate debt for 3 million Californians and significantly reduce debt for almost 1 million more.
Democrats say on top of this, they want to make a significant investment in improving state systems for agencies like the EDD and DMV that have been plagued by persistent technology problems. Democratic senators did not provide a total price tag on the long list of priorities. Republicans, as of Wednesday, were still reviewing the plan.
There are a lot of different needs, a lot of different issues that we need to address. What I'm not for is spending money indiscriminately to make a legislator feel good about themselves. It has to have some effect, it has to have some real meaning in the average Californian's life. That's what I want to see. Press conferences are great, but I think taxpayers, we want to see action.
Okay, why did I show you this? This is from 2021. Why did I show you this clip? California knew what was up. They knew they were losing millions of people during the pandemic. They knew. So they're like, hey, look. We got some health care. Bring your granny. I'm gonna take care of your granny. I'm also gonna fix the DMV. I know it's been 6 months. You've been trying to get a driver's license, but I'm gonna fix it. These people knew. These people knew. Okay? They knew. They knew. All right. Again, I really want people to lay down the horror stories of Jim Crow. And I'm being careful here because there are a lot of African Americans who did very well under Jim Crow years. They're doing well now. And I'm going to go there. They were the doctors. They were the lawyers. They were the dentists. They were the family farms. They were the juke joint owners. So I know a lot of people have this ideal and these stories from 1950s and 60s that they tell their kids and grandkids of how horrible South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, Texas was. It was horrible. We're in the New South. And what's going to happen is you're going to family funeral homes because they didn't bury black bodies in white churches and they didn't bury Indian bodies in white churches. People who had a skill did absolutely fine in Jim Crow South. I know you hate to hear it. Families who had homes and farms when economic times were bad and people could retreat back. We had a whole side of our family ran back down south from Philadelphia after their mother passed for white for many years, married a Jewish man. They ran back to North Carolina because they had to. So I get it. I hear you. Congratulations. Congratulations. If you in California, you love California. And I think you came in late, sir. I'm not sure if you came in early. The state has problems. The state has problems. You know, it's very easy to have a whipping boy of Mississippi, Alabama, California. I get it. It's very easy to have a whipping boy of the South. And the whipping boy stories of the South is why so many African-American people are going to be in absolute dire poverty. They're going to be in dire poverty in New York still. Dire poverty in Connecticut. In Hartford, Connecticut, still struggling. They're going to still be in Philly, living in poverty. Have you seen parts of Philly? That's worse than the Third Ward. That's worse than any Jim Crow South I've ever seen. We had shotguns down here at least. Good gracious. But this whipping boy fear of the Jim Crow South, they're going to get you. Them white people's going to get you. I'm not making fun of your grandparents. I know we've had experience. We had a family member in our family that was lynched. Okay. There are stories that are crazy. We know. But for the next 25 years, if you're a Black person owning anything in the Sun Belt and can build stuff, your family's golden. You're millionaires. Me and Dr. Dix just finished talking about farmland and other stuff in South Carolina the other day. We just finished talking about, I wish I could share y'all some of the conversations we have. The Black families I know right now in Charlotte, North Carolina, that are just caked over in money because they invested, they bought a home for $80,000 and now the homes are $400,000. The way that grandma in California bought that home for $16,000 and now it's worth millions, that's what you have right now in the South. That's what you have right now in Texas. There's a reason about this house that I'm going to. There's a reason. If you talk to people here in Austin, I meet so many Black people from Pittsburgh. It's crazy. It literally, one guy said, I bought a house for $250,000. And then 10 of my family members left Pittsburgh and came here. We all have houses and we're all doing better and we have great jobs. These people will lull you to death with the scary stories of the Jim Crow South. They're gonna lull you to death. They're going to lull you right to the poverty houses. Y'all have to decide. You have to decide. And I get it. You love California. If you're watching this channel and every day you like, I'm living in California, Erica. I'm living in New York. Baby, stay there. But shut the fuck up about it. We don't care. If you want to stay and you want to struggle, great. Do it. I love it. Yeah. Stay there. Do it. Do it. Stay there. And I apologize for cussing, but it gets so exhausting trying to convince African American people, let's get right. Let's move forward. Let's buy some stuff. Let's own some stuff. Let's be the drivers of our history. Let's be the drivers of our future. The same people telling you these sad stories can come together every weekend and do a fish fry and a party and everything else. Y'all, we got to leave you. You know what I'm saying? You New Yorkers is out 20, 30 years in Atlanta at this point. We got to leave you. We can't take everybody. So if you're watching this and I know you want to comment, I know you want to say some stuff, cool, baby. I hear you. Right? The data shows they're struggling. The data shows African American people in California are struggling. That's the truth. The data shows African American people in California are financially struggling. It's not made up. It's made. The data shows Black people in Pittsburgh are struggling. The data, the numbers, the IRS paperwork y'all file. That's what shows it. So when I say Black people are millionaires in California, 9 times out of 10, it's it's the home ownership. It's not the job. It's not the investment in stocks. It's not. It's not. I hear you. I'm struggling. But you could win. Okay, so before I get my emotions in it any further, let me back up. Let me go to how you can win. Okay, because I had to, because I know me and numbers ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad the weather's beautiful out there for y'all. I'm glad you get to lay out in the sun. Baby, the sun, yes. Sun doesn't change the data. If you ain't living in Baldwin Hills, okay, the data don't change. And my friends that moved from North Carolina moved to the Baldwin Hills with the money they got from North Carolina and moved to the Baldwin Hills. My friend from Philly took the money she had from Philly and moved to the Baldwin Hills. Not the Black people that live in California moving to the Baldwin Hills. Outsiders moving to the Baldwin Hills, keeping up the history of wealthy Blacks being in Baldwin Hills. Okay, so let me finish. Let me go and finish. Because I already know my emotions will get the best of me. Let me go over here. Let me just finish. Okay. Let's get focused. All right, here we go. First things first. Here you go. This is Jerome Montanalo. I've talked about him several times, been to several events. You see me take pictures, all this other stuff. They are with a crew of their people, not the only people, but just one of the examples that I can give that I know is a decent person. They're in Arizona. They're in New Mexico. Their offices, their buildings, their projects. They've been finished building in Seattle and Washington, I think maybe last year. They're going to go help 20 different, I can't even speak, 20 different, cities, townships, villages, whatever y'all want to call them out there, to help get the permitting done faster and easier. There's a new executive order in place that allows Californians to do their own fire cleanup. Before, you had to have the state do it. This is where I told y'all, when the president came and asked the mayor, isn't it going to take 18 months? Why would they say that? Everybody said Donald Trump is trying to clown her. He's trying to embarrass her. He's trying to hurt her. No, because before they did the executive order, that is the truth. You had to use the state to clean up fire damage repair. That's why they were already calculating with 12,500 homes, it would take 12 to 18 months just to do cleanup. And you know how fast the DMV go out there. So do you want the DMV coming to clean your neighborhood? It might take 3 years if you let the DMV do it. Okay? Baby, if you go to the Bay now, good gracious. You go to Oakland now, you be like, what happened? Just gonna say that. But anyway, let's keep moving. I'm not saying you have to work with him. Anytime I give any recommendation on this channel, I want y'all to very much understand. You don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to hear nothing I'm saying. You don't have to do anything I'm recommending. Anybody I even recommend to y'all, I'm praying that you go check their background, check their history, check everything they do. Okay? Every 2 minutes, y'all talking bad about the South. It gets old. Y'all not doing good in New York. You're not doing good in most cities. It's okay. It's okay. But I'm going to tell you how you make money off people like what I'm talking about right now. All right. Now, this is the first way. I would, if I were you, hop on Jerome D'Amato's pages and groups and message them and message their team. There's a ton of people like him out there. They're going to go and call people. What can we do for you? How can we help you? How can we get you started? Do you need an advocate? We got people on our team. Why is this important? Why is this the number one way you will make money this year coming up? If your name's on the paperwork, your name's the person consistently calling the cleanups, the inspectors, the appraisers, the plumbers, all that stuff. There's ways to get paid from that. I'm not going to go through all the 59 ways that you're going to get paid through that particular process, but being someone's advocate, okay, being the person who fills out the paperwork, you get paid. You get paid. Percentages, but you do get paid. There's a way to even do that. These people have to get back to their regular everyday life of working, driving in traffic, and kids going to school. They will not be able to the next 3 years be calling people back and forth on the phone. There will be opportunities for that. Okay. So this is just one of the people I recommend. If you're a plumber, you're an electrician, you're a handyman, you're whatever, and you can get over to the state. One of the ways people build goodwill, I'm on the phone with an elderly person. I need help cleaning up. You do? I got a guy I can send tomorrow. Oh, I ain't got no money, honey. Don't come over. No, we'll just come observe and see if you need help. And we'll take away some stuff as needed. We'll help pallet up in the trash and in bundles as you need it. Now I'm going to send my people over there. Guess what my people going to do? They're going to talk to that old lady. They're going to help her clean up. But guess what else they're going to do? They're going to ask her about all her neighbors. They're going to ask her about the whole street. They're going to ask her their names of everybody. Do you know their phone number? Do they need help? I can help clean up their yard too. This is a technique old as time, y'all. This is old as blue collar service. I don't know if Solid Stuff the Wealth is in here, but she might not be. I'm just telling you, it's an old technique. You're offering free help because guess what? I'm going to go there. It sounds terrible. These guys offer free help. Some of them are just going to be filming it. Hey, we're going to clean your whole yard up. Can I put my GoPro camera over here as I clean up? The footage and the videos and the numbers on YouTube off that cleanup footage is going to be astronomical. Astronomical. I helped elderly person clean up from the LA fire. I helped scoop up ash from LA fire. Trust me, you don't believe me? Watch those videos come up. I help rescue older people from fire. I help restore the lawn from LA fire. I help restore roof LA fire. You're going to see these. I'm telling you, it's one of the ways you're going to see people make 5 to 10K a month off just the views. And if you're my digital liberty warriors, I'll tell y'all, I think tomorrow, some of the numbers I'm getting back from those 2 videos I had that did 34,000 views. And I can tell you the numbers off some of those lawn care videos because I know a few people. That's one way. Okay? That's one way. That's your first way. Let me give you another one. Hold on. Let me give you another one. Hold on, baby. Here's another one. Okay, here's another one. HEB on Friday doubled down on its commitment, extending helping hand by announcing $1 million donation to nonprofits aiding in wildfire outreach recovery efforts in LA. But the company's contributions didn't end there. In addition to the $1 million commitment, HEB says it sent 6 truckloads of essentials to support food banks in Los Angeles area. Essentials needed water, masks, hygiene kits, and other supplies. What are you going? Let me be careful here. What is Red Cross, churches, nonprofits in California? What are they looking for right now? They're looking for helpers, yes. They're looking for volunteers, yes. They're looking for what? People who complete work. People who can do what? Roofing, fencing, administrative paperwork. Let's say you're in Cali and you already know the Coastal Commission gonna be worrisome. If you're in California and you got legs to keep going back and forth to the Coastal Commission via paperwork, via your face going into place, you will be paid. I forgot the exact name of it. I was in an emergency response group and there is already a title for a person that they're going to send running back and forth to basically these different places that supposedly the permits are reduced and relaxed. They're going to start sending people. Why are they going to send a person in person? Why are they going to send people in person and pay that person to go down there? Because they're going to make sure it's noted. It's documented. We sent one person 7 times to get help and render aid and get paperwork through, and we couldn't get it done. Y'all, they're going to sue. They're going to sue. They're going to sue. This is a setup for a good long walk with California. Okay. I'm just going to just let you know that. Okay. Let me go to the other one. Excuse me. Let me all right. Let's go here. There's a couple more I can do. Let me do this one. Let me do this one. All right. Let me do this. Let me show this. And I'm because you're gonna say, Erica, how can I make money? I'm gonna read some of your comments and I'm gonna go on and finish this up. Very true. I lived in the Bay, saw the struggles 2016, 2018. Saw it was unbelievable, had to leave. I'm in Sub-Zero's course, just got my content marketing certs. Congratulations. Left Pittsburgh 2012, went back in October. Family still doing the same thing when I left. Nothing. A bunch of nothing. And this is why when people talk bad about Texas, I kind of laugh because most people, when they move, they're going to get here and do nothing. But what they're going to do is make sure they buy a house because the house is so cheap in comparison to other areas. Just by buying a house, they did something. And when I meet a lot of the Pittsburgh Black people here in by Hutto, because they seem to be really over by Hutto a bunch. I don't know why. They're always like, man, whoo, glad I got this house. And I'd be like, well, what do you do here? What do you do? And they don't seem like they do a bunch of nothing, but they're glad to be their house. The average person, if they got kids, they like, oh, my kids, school, kids, you know. I'm just letting y'all know. Baldwin Hills on aesthetic level cannot compare to ATL houses. Interesting. Thanks for telling them to shut up. I'm in Atlanta, New York. Transplant so aggravating since COVID. Talking about bad about the South. It says, sir, you will live in a coffin in New York. I can't. I ain't gonna get into that. If they do their own cleanup, they better not sue because of harmful chemicals there. See, Notary World, this is the slippery slope. Some people yards might not have that much on it, right? Okay. Oh, yeah. Good call. That's one of the people I was going to show. And dang, Aunt, get into it before I can get to it. And hold on, I'm going to show it. Good gracious. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show you. Okay. All right, let me pull it up. Again, when we first had the incentives on solar from Obama, companies were just hiring part-time people to basically make phone calls every day and all day. Now, this is one of the examples. If you're in the Digital Liberty Warriors, we've talked about this. This is, again, reinventing yourself in the process and how do you make money off social. Now, I'm going to tell you the 7 ways as y'all watch this in the background. You can make money. And again, it's going to be IG and Facebook. And let me start by saying, who are the winners and losers of 2025? And again, I don't want anybody in the fire to be considered a loser, any of that, none of that. But winners are going to be investors and builders. And when I say builders, I mean people who build to rent, or they're slow building right now, or they're building duplexes, right? Wholesalers, creative financing, land flippers. They're going to win big. People, all the pretenders are basically gone. The guy or girl told you they're a wholesaler, they're a flipper, and they ain't been doing nothing for the past 3 years, and they got to go back and get a job. That's real. There's nothing wrong with that. That's real. But the majority of the people that are real to the process, been seriously doing it, they're going to win big this year, because not only do you have issues like California, you have land, because a lot of people are going to have their focus on California, right? People want to sell, right? Areas where people have kind of got fatigued, and I'll say Houston's one of them. You know, they used to be like, I'm gonna hold on to this land in the hood, and you gonna pay me $100,000 for this land, and I'm gonna just wait you out. Well, now they need money off grandma land. They need it. The recession's been hitting them, so they'll take $50,000. And so now the land, you got it for half price. It's in a great number range, and you can go get your loans and you can go build on it. And you can take your time, because right now Class B and C's are frozen. What people want and what people can get are different. Why is this man showing you this house in Texas? And why is this one of the ways you can make a lot of money off Instagram? You can partner with film kids who need money, because as the podcasters slow down, the influencers slow down, the drone people, because this is drone action and camera action, the drone folks are making a lot of money. And what happens is when you see houses like this, I don't know if you'll see it on this one. Let me see if I can see it on this one. Will it let me? It might not. Hold on. I'm opening up in the second page. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Trying to show y'all. It's being a hater. You know, this guy's like, look at this house, but he also talks about two. Okay, here we go. Let me show y'all again. Sorry, I apologize. All right. So he also shows Tulum real estate, but that's a whole nother conversation. Why would somebody make $5 to $15,000 a month showing Instagram houses like this? Now, one, they can be a realtor for sure, but a lot of realtors didn't make any money. Two, again, the house they just showed in this video is $581,000. Now you're going to say that's too expensive for Texas. I would never pay that. There's somebody in New York and California right now like, ooh, it's a long yard. They'll pay it. Okay. Now let's go on and do this. Let's scroll down. Okay. Buyers tend to spend 8 to 10% at the design center. Okay. Let's keep on going on down. Now, if you go down here in the comments, not all of them, but a bunch of these comments are hater comments. I'm talking about property tax. I'm talking about installation. People from Texas offended. You know, yeah, but you got to live in Texas. What's happening right now is it's in your face. It's in your face. Just the way I'm talking about California right now. And y'all are like, Erica, California, it's so fucking good. You're terrible, Erica. California is the best. I get it. You love it. I get it. But when you go on the internet and you see the opportunity somewhere else, you don't like it. You don't like it because you know it's true. You know somebody else is winning somewhere else. And if you're not in a position to win, you're going to be mad. Now, this video got 8,000 comments. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. The numbers I see on his page that he's doing from just showing these houses, he doesn't even comment, right? He doesn't even follow up on comments. There's 3 ways to get paid. He's a realtor. He can refer you. You saw this house. You have a realtor you're already working with. Referral fees, all that stuff. He's going to get paid. Number 2, Instagram and Facebook is paying him a good, I'd say about 10 to 15, maybe 20 grand a month. The numbers he's doing on this. The number he's doing on this. So in the comments, sometimes I have to stop myself because I'll be wanting to be petty. And I'll be wanting to say, and I've done it before. Some years I'll be like, oh, just get installation. Oh, just do this. Everybody that sees these houses and complain about installation, there's installation companies and foam companies making a ton of money going through all these houses, foaming them up. They get their light bill, their energy bill the first year. They go through the house, foam it up, cut you down on your energy bills. What is something Arizona's doing well? Arizona's selling houses now and saying, hey, we use foam. And you got so much great installation. Your light bill is gonna be low, your energy costs are gonna be low, you're gonna love it. Okay. All right. Exactly. Depending on where you at. Some parts of Coastal Carolina, it's $1 million house. Okay. And so people immediately, their emotions are in it. Somebody's like, that's 10 million in South Florida, right? No one would set foot in fascist Texas. So this guy's probably laughing. They're laughing because people are they're emoting on the internet. 8,000 comments, 1,000 comments on these small homes. Some of these homes are small. Some of these homes are small. Some of these are starter homes, right? And the first thing they go is, well, there's no trees, Erica. There's no trees. Who would want to live somewhere with no trees? You can plant trees. You can plant trees. I promise you, if y'all see some of these comments, you will really think people need to be on medication. Some of them don't. All of them don't do. Listen, when you show these starter homes, you don't get the numbers. When you start showing these big bad boy homes, this is where people, the envious eye, the green eye gets big. 900,000 views, hearts, likes, 134,000. I mean, again, this is where you turn it to reels. Okay, 28 million people have looked at this. 28 million people have looked at this and are mad, big mad. Now, he, of course, is showing all the lower cost houses, but the big views on the videos come from the big rich houses where people want to be mad. I'm so mad. Plies used to make fun of people all the time. I'm making you mad. There's put $10,000 down payment. People are like, how can I afford $10,000 down payment? The state of Texas is giving you guys literally 17 grand on a lot of this stuff. Depending on they're giving you 5 grand in the Texas credits, the close. The lenders are giving you 5 to 7 grand closing cost. So what is happening is people are seeing these videos and they're emoting. They're crying because they know there is opportunity. Are they in position to take it? No. This is one of the ways you can make money. Now, one of the lists over here is Instagram, Facebook, showing beautiful homes, farming, rural living, holistic. What do I mean holistic? One of my channels I'm going to have is one of the ones I'm having when we get to the new house is grounding. I'm going to show you, like, put my feet in the ground, my red light cameras, the all the holistic stuff, right? Holistic stuff, right? Okay. And the reason I bring that up is because people get in their fees. They get in their fees, right? Like, so I have other Instagram accounts that I haven't done anything with. I posted a few things, but not much. Just chilling. Not much. Gonna get it rolled up. Gonna get it started. But I had to put some stuff up there because I know how Instagram is. They be tripping, right? So the people are emoting online. And you will make a lot of money from that. Another one is best of Texas, best of Florida. Look at a lot of Florida stuff. If you type in Florida in there, there's a ton of people doing things you can do every day in Florida. Top 5 things you do in Florida every day. Best of Tennessee. Let me show you Nashville. Let me show you the stuff you didn't see about Nashville, right? LA Recovery will be one of those channels, right? LA Today, LA in Progress. Fire stuff LA. People will be very making money off that. The e-com section of the commerce section of this is fire prevention related materials. Selling people, certain air vents and filters, selling people lung detox. There's a whole thing I saw pop up on Amazon recently, lung detox. I know that's a lot of California people buying it. All of a sudden it spiked up in the Calo data. If you're in my Digital Liberty Warriors, we talked about it. There's going to be all these things that come up and sell from this stuff. Okay. Those are ways you can make money. Okay. A lot of people are so scared to fail because social media shows a lot of, like, if people fail, people mess up, people have lawsuits, people have stuff happen to them. Back in the day, if your auntie got divorced and she got remarried a couple years later, nobody knew. Jack Nicholson talked about how his grandma raised him and he thought his mom was his sister. Nowadays, everybody business on the internet, right? So people are afraid to post, afraid to do things. If you are anybody who's a builder, a plumber, a roofer, electrician, in the insurance field, you're an appraiser, this is a great time to hop on social media and reach out to all these teams. Hey man, I'm a roofer, I'm looking for work. Hey, I'm a roofer. If you go on Facebook groups today and you go in any of these roofing, hey, I'm ready to go knock doors for any roofing company that pays a salary and a commission. Honey, they are picking people up left and right. It's lots of money to be made from this. Lots. Now again, what's another group of people that are going to win and ways to make money this year? I hate to say it, is credit repair folks. Credit repair folks are going to make a lot of money because they're going to be able to be like, hey, sorry, you were in the fire. You came up in my radar. Your business was in that area. I would love to help you if you're having any issues. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm having a ton of issues. They, be careful how I say this. Yeah, they have been putting things on my credit because of this fire and that's not my fault. And all that stuff. Right. That's going to be a big thing. That's going to be a big thing. Okay. Let me go over here. Oh, let me go over here. Let me see if I can do it like this. Will it let me? Boy, they be worth them. Let me call you back. Okay. All right. Prime example. Let me show you here. And if this information has been at all helpful, drop one in the comments. Let me know. If not, I understand. It is what it is. The house across the street from me has been sitting vacant for at least 10 years. The owner comes to check on his property investment often. You already know his game. Yeah, he waiting it out. He's waiting it out. They'll never stop moving south. Born and raised in Miami. 85% of people I meet are transplants from the north. You already know. It's just cheaper. It's just numbers. It's just numbers. It's just numbers, y'all. It's just numbers. It's just math. It's just numbers. It's no hard feelings. There's no disrespect. Okay. So let me show you this right here. Now y'all be like, Houston's too full of it's too full of realtors, Erica. It's too many daggone realtors out here. And again, how are people marketing to these California people? I'm gonna show you right here. Prime example. All right, buy, sell, lease, invest. Okay. And again, Houston realtors dress like this. I don't know why. Now look, I'm gonna show you this. This is 625, 580 minimum credit score. Must occupy for 1 year. If not occupying, you got to put 20% down. Buy these 2 homes for $21,500. If I'm in California, what am I thinking when I see this? If I'm in New York, what am I thinking when I see this? What am I thinking when I see this? Put it in the comments if you can. Austin and Dallas is overpriced. It depends on what you consider overpriced. See, again, Tony B, we always look at it from the perspective of our income level or certain things. But at the end of the day, if you're a person making $70,000 to $150,000 a year with a career, what's overpriced? Right now in Austin, you can get a house for $285,000. It's gonna need some work. But is that overpriced? Right? This is where the marketplace is having a problem when mortgage rates are not sub 5, they're not under 5, most of them are at 4.99, right? the economy's over optimistic with Trump in, and that is what it is. I told y'all that was going to happen. But these people have 6 months. 6 months to move around. They got a good 6 months because Class B and C are frozen. People in a house right now with a 2% mortgage, 2.99, 2.5, they're not going nowhere. There have been people bragging on some of these places about they got a 1.9. Okay, they're not going anywhere. They may get a HELOC, but they're not going nowhere. Right? The big money, okay? The big money. Oh, you can't see it. I don't know why you can't see. Why can't you see? Oh, I'm so sorry you can't see. The big money is building it from the ground up. But again, we'll have a whole show on USDA loans, but not today. Again, another one. Can y'all see it? Only 5,800 now. This is when there's cheaper, smaller duplexes though. Rentals start in this area at 2,200 each unit. 7 minutes from the medical center. No HOA, no flood zone. Airbnb, short-term rental friendly. All right. She'll never sell. Never sell. She'll never sell. Right. So again, these pages, yes, they're marketing to people who live in Houston, but they're really marketing to other people outside of town. All right. Let me see. Where's the other one? Buy this duplex for 0 down. You can use 0 down programs to buy these 2 homes. Now, depending on where they're at. No, this one's 10 minutes from Houston. You got to be further than Houston to get the USDA loan. But baby, I'm telling you, live on one side, rent out the other. It's a play. I'm just letting y'all know it's a play. New construction, 3.99% interest rate, 7 minutes from downtown. Tax rate's 2%. Okay, I think y'all got it. Let me back up out of there. There you go. It's overpriced to the natives. They remember the day when that house was 80K. And this is new construction. And they're going to complain. It's not quality. It's not the best. It's not. I already know. I saw a house the other day. Nas the Duru showed it. I lived in a remodeled home around the corner. And these places they were showing, the rent used to be $495 because it was hood over there. They're renting them out now for $1,300. Okay. Now, why am I telling y'all about social media? And let me show you cards for Relis real quick. And I'm going to explain to y'all why. Because you're like, Erica, why are you talking about social media? Why aren't you talking to me about plumbing and building and all this stuff? And yeah, we can get over there. There's going to be a lot of people flooding those areas. You have to get into somebody's ecosystem and work with them, right? This is a 5-year thing. The first 6 months is how can I help you get the insurance company to get you some money? How can I help you get cleaned up? How can I help you get processed? 6 months in, 6 months, 18 months, your grandma tired. She want to let go of the house. She don't want to do it no more. She done with it. She done with it. She ready to go. She ready to sell. So this is a 6 to 18 month thing here. Okay. Right. Okay. So on top of that, when I tell you who's going to be the winners of 2025, when I say builders and investors, people who are real estate agents, mortgage brokers, they still going to struggle. They're going to limp through the rest of 2025. Now, one of the things y'all saw, people were making fun of Trump talking about Gulf of Mexico versus Gulf of America. Legislation was written that nobody could do certain things in the Gulf of Mexico. No new rigs, no new oil stuff could do in the Gulf of Mexico. No new stuff can be done in Alaska. Well, all of a sudden Trump comes in and says, hey, this isn't Denali. This is Mount McKinney. This isn't the Gulf of Mexico. This is the Gulf of America. Many people think it's a joke. They're mocking it. The whole thing with the Panama Canal. If you listen to the numbers of the money that everybody makes off of America, you would understand what's happening. I changed the name so I can go ahead and sign oil companies to get back to business. Okay. Canada literally told you we make, I think it's $3.2 billion or something every month off of putting things into America to sell. And so if we take away and we give a tariff to Canada, first thing people talk about, well, the tariffs. Listen, they're already paying tariffs. Joe Biden had tariffs. The other people had tariffs. There's already been tariffs. Canada told you they make $3.2 billion a month off America. Everybody tries to sell stuff to where? America. America is 23% of the world's economy. No matter what people try to sell y'all, America still makes a ton of money. China is 19% of the economy, but they make a lot of their own stuff. Okay. Who was the third? I think, was it Great Britain or UK? No, it's what is that country? South America. It's some country, but we're the top number two and number one and number two. Why is that important? If I can claw back $2 trillion a year from where I'm leaking money out of America, I solve our debt. Now I don't solve it in perpetuity because we're about as bad as California. We got laws, things on the books. We got old people. The numbers is the numbers. Okay, the numbers are the numbers. But the next 6 months, the first 90 days, I saw Trump. He was on the plane. Him and Melania. He looked tired. And I'm like, at 78, I know they in the back giving him IV and B12 because, baby, it's going to be a long 6 months. Just like the people in California, it's going to be a long 6 months where you're fighting to get back to normal. And they're right. Once these families start living 20 minutes across town and they got a pretty decent neighborhood and the school's doing all right with their kid and they don't have many complaints, slowly but surely, yeah, let's go ahead and sell that piece of land. I don't think we're going to make it back over there. Okay. Now, if you want to talk about capital raising, and I'm going to be tiptoeing here. If I'm in, let me be careful how I say this. If I'm in the Palisades and I want to make money, I don't want to sell my grandma's land, but I want to make money. I would have a social media fresh from start. And I would talk about starting over in the Palisades, right? Starting over and eating, starting over. And I would show myself on the camera, cleaning up, fixing things. I would say, oh, our family doesn't want to sell, but my neighbors want to sell. I mean, if you message me or DM me or call me, maybe I can help you facilitate the sale. Right? Now, I'm not going to film it in front of where I live. I'm going to film it in different parts of the neighborhood all the time when I say this, because companies are like, well, I'll just use Google Maps and figure out where you are. Good luck on that. Everything's burnt down. Your Google Maps won't be as trusty. Okay. So if I can't figure out via Google Maps who you're talking about, what house you're talking about, now I got to do what? I got to go through you. I got to go through you, California kid. I got to figure out how to talk to you about, hey, which neighbor wants to sell? Oh, what is it to you? Do you have referral money? Again, everybody might not think this is above the board, equitable, or full of integrity. I don't find it that way. I find it, how am I solving a problem and creating service? All right. Companies are going to pay for you to walk and knock doors. If you have young people in your neighborhood and they don't have a job because of the fire, but your house is still decent or you're still going back and forth to the area, they will pay them to, here, hand this to your neighbors. Knock on your neighbor's door. Do you know your neighbor's phone number? A lot of that's going on. A lot of that's going on. A lot of it. Okay? It's just business. But people, how do people raise capital on the internet? They show projects they're working on. They show things they're building and areas they're doing it in. And they show progress. They show progress. Okay? That's what's going to happen. You got to show progress. You got to show what's going on. Okay? This is Carlos Reyes that I've had in the background. He's going to be the Latino Grant Cardone. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because a lot of these people have businesses. And if you watch some of his most popular videos, they have businesses, but they don't know how to do taxes. They don't do a lot of things great, right? They talk about Hispanic Americans making money.
None of us are business owners. Less than 10% of that 1% knows how to actually build and scale a company outside of themselves. They do it all. They're owners and they're operators. They're missing out on what real financial freedom is. And that can be accomplished through scaling and delegating and hiring and having systems and processes for, onboarding and training and development for your people and building out your core values in your company, how you hire, how you fire, how you build. We don't have that knowledge. And that's something that empresarios, we're going to be teaching people how to build and scale multiple 7-figure companies. God willing, for some of them that really commit and go all in, they'll surpass 8 figures in annual revenue.
Sí, no, claro que sí. Les queremos enseñar el proceso de cómo salir de ese miedo de, como tú dices, ¿verdad?
So this is a recent thing he started doing in speaking Spanish. I'm not trying to be funny, but if you ever know anything about the kind of American Hispanic kind of thing, there's a lot of people, they don't speak Spanish. They speak English all the time, everywhere, all the time. And I've noticed he started speaking Spanish in some of his recent stuff and recent campaigns with this young man right here. They're trying to get the attention of Mexican American entrepreneurs like, hey, come to this. Now, this is in California, and they're making a joke of it, but I get it.
Que nos creemos los mejores y que donde quiera que vamos somos un desmadre. Y la verdad, sí, pero tenemos razones de sobra para hacerlo. Tenemos una rica historia.
And look, it's already on fire. Okay, like they're making sure it don't get no worse. You know what I'm saying? They just putting some tacos on the fire. No harm, no foul. Now, why am I bringing them up? Again, getting in people's ecospheres. People's ecospheres. Hey, I'm willing to make calls. I'm willing to do stuff. I'm willing to do this or that. They have a place for you. I assure you. They have crews going out knocking doors. Okay. Okay, so let's see. What should people do? And this is what I'm going to end it on right here. This is the best one. I'm going to end it on this right here. What should people do that are going in their careers but want to capitalize on some of this stuff in the next 5 years? Ant Dog, for you, you're in Houston. Houston is a great spot. If you see a deal, if you see a duplex and you want to buy it and you can get it at good rates and you can get it at a good price, I would do it, or I would build it from the ground up, because you're going to cut your price in half. Cheaper loan, all that good stuff. And then you'll have your first rental and you could do it a couple times, but you have family. So if you want to stay in particular areas, I would understand that. If you're in your career, you like your career, I would just recommend tapping into the ecosphere and seeing how you can refer people or connect people. That's the number 1, 2 things. Referring people, connecting people. Hey, I know a person. Hey, I can refer you. Also, just seeing if there's any opportunities with some of these companies technically, right? If they need tech support or they need customer service, is there a way that you could tap into that? That's some of what's going on, as you saw earlier. If you saw up earlier in the comments, Journey to Jasmine said there was already a company hiring for part-time. It's going to be like when Obama was in and they had the solar initiatives and they had all these jobs of people calling people on the phone to sell them these initiatives. It'll be the same with this. So there's a couple there in the next 5 years. I promise you, by the time the Olympics is here, it'll look different over there. But also everywhere else in America is going to really have a growth moment. 2025 is going to be sluggishly slow, but the next 10 years in real estate, absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I mean from everything. I mean from repairs. I mean from foam installation, roofing, fixing what the contractors broke, all that. It's going to make a ton of money. Gyms, it's gonna be a bag. Would you advise starting a family business in the next years, particularly in real estate investments? Yes. That's always gonna be a yes. So I've been here 2 hours. I thank y'all for your time. I know it's been a good minute. Thank you so much for she said normally you will end the live. Excuse me. I'm sorry I'm going past your time. Nah, I'm really passionate about this, and I know there's a lot of ways that's gonna make money from this. Socially, physically, call on the phone. There's a lot of ways to get plugged in, but you have to acknowledge there's a problem. If you don't acknowledge there's a problem, you cannot move forward. That's as simple as that. If you don't acknowledge there's a problem, you can't move forward. So I hope this was helpful. I'll break this up into snippets, but good luck, everybody. We'll touch base on this again when I fly out to Cali. There's 1 or 2 people I'm meeting who are already in the process of building something, and they're Black people. They already got their foot on the ground. They're already doing stuff. They're already getting in there. And I'll make sure I'll put it on video so y'all can see. All right, you guys, this is your girl Erica. Have a wonderful evening.
This is David W. Williams, and I'm giving a testimony to Erica Williams and her team. Because of the advertising relationship that we were able to develop, my company had the best month in the month of November for the whole year of 2024. And I'm talking about our sales were 3 or 4 times any other month during that particular year. And I know it's because of the relationship that I had with Erica and how she worked with me as an advertising partner. So now here's the benefit of working with her and her team. She's going to communicate to you what you're going to get as a result of working with her. She's going to over-deliver on her value that she's providing, right? And she's not going to do a one-off deal. She's going to really invest in your success because she's really invested in making sure that you're going to get a success story from working with her as an advertising partner. So if you're looking to drive more sales, you're looking to bring in more leads, and you're also looking to get more exposure to what you're doing, you want to reach out to Erica and ask her, can I advertise with you?